Man, what is up, second students? It has been a crazy past couple weeks. Just know that we miss you guys a ton. We can't wait till when we can come back and be with you guys, have fun with you guys, hang out with you guys. But this week, we are going to jump into a new series, a Fear Not series for our daily Devos. And so with that, this morning, we're going to be in the book of Psalms, chapter 33, verses 18 to 22. So if you have your Bibles, go ahead and open to there. I'm going to go ahead and read for us. Psalm 33, chapter 18, verse 18 says this: "Behold, the eye of the Lord is in those who fear him, on those who hope in his steadfast love, that he may deliver their soul from death and keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield, for our heart is glad in him, because we trust in his holy name. Let your steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, even as we hope in you." And so I read that, I look at verse 18. Verse 18 says, "Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him." But you see, this kind of fear is different than the fear we may have for the coronavirus, right? This kind of fear is to stand in awe of God, not to be fearful of what God is going to do and be anxious and things like that, but is to be fearful by standing in awe of him. And so you may think, well, Zach, how do we do that? How do we stand in awe of God in this time of quarantine, in this time of questions, confusion, hurt, right? There's 3 points that I have for us this morning. The first one is we must wait for, and the second one is and trust in God. We must wait for and trust in God. And so I look in my life and I'm like, man, when was a time that I was waiting on and then had to trust in what God had for me? And it brings me back to my junior year in college, whenever I broke my leg for the final time. And God was like, "Zach, I have something bigger and better for you, but you're going to have to give up football. You're going to have to give up East Texas Baptist. You're going to have to give up the community that you have there and just follow me." And it took me a while to think and to realize, okay, his plan is definitely greater than my plan. But I was selfish. I was prideful. I loved what I was doing. I was comfortable in what I was doing. And so through a long, hard fought battle, getting tug and pull back and forth, I finally was like, okay, God, I'm going to give it all to you. I'm going to allow you to take this from me in hopes and desire that you are going to give me something better. And I'm sitting here today in Katy, Texas, and I get to work at Second Baptist Church with the junior high kids, and I absolutely love it. And I know God has in fact fulfilled what I was missing, has in fact fulfilled what I needed. And so the last point, though, is that we must rejoice in the Lord. And I know I'm real guilty of this because there are a lot of times in my life I forget to sit back, I forget to step back and look and see what God has done in my life, right? Rejoicing in the fact that my wife still works, I'm still getting to work, right? Rejoice in the fact that our family is healthy. Rejoice in the fact that our immediate family that lives in Florida is still healthy, right? There's so many things that we can rejoice in the fact that God is still sitting on the throne, right? God's still sitting on the throne. Coronavirus hasn't kicked him off the throne. God's still in control and is going to do great things in the midst of this. And one song that kind of stuck to mind this morning as I was reading was Waymaker, right? And many of us know the song. Many of us play the song 4 or 5 times a day. But the part where it says, even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. That goes hand in hand with this verse, right? Is that we can trust and know that God is doing something in the midst of this. Even though we can't see him working directly in our lives, even though we may not be able to see him working in the community, we can have faith and know that God is indeed working. Students, I hope you guys will take the time this week to dive into the daily Devos as we go throughout this Fear Not series for 5 days. And you guys will walk alongside each and every one of us. We miss you guys. We love you guys. We can't wait to see you guys soon.